Hey, this is Dave with Wearing Media, and today in the outdoor kitchen, I'm cooking up a gumbo-style omelet with some food that I grew on the herb wall. Got some tomatoes, a marconi pepper, and some okra. Hello there, it's Dave with Wearing Media. It's breakfast this time at the outdoor kitchen. Wearingmedia.com. Thank you for those that have liked and subscribed. So today, hey, I grew all this stuff. Well, minus that. But all these things right here, I grew this. It's not much, I know, but I'm super proud of it. Got some okra, looking good. Got some tomatoes that finally ripened, and I have a giant marconi pepper and some basil. So I figured, let's make breakfast. Let's make an omelet out of this stuff. Make kind of like a gumbo style omelet. My okra, I'm gonna add some hot sauce. I don't have any crawfish. That would be good. That'd be good. I need to make one of those. So I'm just gonna slice up my okra here. Get that going. Those off to the side. Maybe I'll plant some of these seeds again. These look pretty good. It's a little. What I'm gonna do here is fry it up first. So I'm gonna separate. You'll see me today. I'm gonna separate a lot of the seeds out because I want to try and regrow some of this stuff. I forgot my olive oil, so I went and grabbed that real quick. We're gonna throw down some olive oil into our cast iron pan with my handful of okra that I've been carrying around with me off camera. So that's a little bit too hot. I'll kind of turn that down. I've said this before on the flat iron. If you're using a skillet and you add your oil or your butter and it starts smoking like this, you're generally a little bit too warm on the heat. But this is good because I'm kind of gonna make a little bit of fried okra here first. I want that to cook down. And while that's kind of cooking down, I'm going to come over here and cut this pepper. I'm going to actually do a little basil first. Add in some of that basil flavor, let that kind of simmer up. I'll chop the whole thing up and then I'll do it in two parts. I'm going to add the first part during the okra cook, and then the rest of it I'll add once I get the rest of this stuff in there. See, that's a little too hot, so it's kind of browning up the okra a little too fast, so we're gonna turn that down one more time. That's a mistake, but don't worry, this is gonna be delicious when I'm done. So it's a giant marconi pepper. It's a little bit different from a green pepper, but to me the flavor tastes exactly the same. The texture is a little bit different. Pull off some of these seeds here and get rid of it. It's kind of like, it looks like a cross between a green pepper and a jalapeno, but it's not. There's no heat on this whatsoever. It's just good. It's a little more flimsy. I don't think it has as much water as a pepper has in it. The texture and consistency is pretty much the same, and the flavor is the same to me. I found out that this one, I did a little research, and I found out that this one wasn't exactly ripe. I probably shouldn't have pulled it yet. You're supposed to wait for these to get red. So that's my fault. But I pulled it and I want to eat it. So I'm gonna add it over here to the okra. We're gonna let all this kind of sizzle in the olive oil. And after this, I'm gonna come over here and cut up my tomatoes. Add some hot sauce first though. Let all this kind of cook together. I'm just trying to add layers of flavor. Stir this up. Got some pepper, giant marconi pepper. Got some okra. Frying all this delicious stuff up. Add a little more hot sauce. A little bit more. I'm gonna make sure you can taste it. I don't want it to overpower, but let that cook down. It'll cook down. It'll add the flavor. It won't have too much heat. Pull some of the seeds off to the side there. Add a little more of my basil. And I'm going to cut up these tomatoes. Now, I know this video probably won't get that many views. Squeeze all the innards out of my tomatoes though, so I can get I'm gonna try and save a lot of those seeds. I know this isn't gonna be the most viewed video ever, and it's just an omelet, but I'm super proud of this stuff. I've never grown anything before. This might be like a very expensive tomato here. This might be like a $30 tomato. But I enjoyed doing it, and I'm learning a lot, and it's gonna taste delicious. When these things finally grow, they taste good. This particular flavor is a Better Boy, is what it is. And I bought it because it said that it was heat tolerant. And here in Florida, in Orlando, when the heat kicks in, man, the heat kicks in. You got amazing, beautiful fall and winter, but then summer is like, it's brutal. So I tried to find a tomato that could resist the summer heat. So far, I haven't really been good at growing tomatoes. Been doing some research though. Been watching some really cool channels that do a lot of awesome stuff. And I'm doing some research and gonna try and next season I think I'm gonna have some better tomatoes. Alright, let's start all this up. Just letting our increase the heat just a little bit. I think I turned that down a little bit too much. We're gonna let all this stuff cook down. It's gonna be delicious. Got our tomatoes. How'd that get in there? Oh well, throw that out. Got our tomatoes, our marconi pepper. Got our okra. And now I'm gonna add in a little bit of butter to let all this kind of melt in. Because this is an omelet. So I got maybe like a quarter of a tablespoon there. Or a half a tablespoon of butter. That's probably a half a tablespoon of butter. Let's mix all this, let that simmer. If you could watch that for a minute, I'm gonna come over here and clean all this stuff up. Make the presentation look nice for you again. We're gonna get our plate ready. Oh, tasty beverage today was a delicious glass of orange juice. Can't go wrong with a nice omelet in the morning with some veggies. Veggie omelet. I'm gonna call this kind of like a gumbo omelet, just basically because of the heat and the okra. So I'm gonna come over here and add my eggs in, and I'm gonna scramble all these up, but I'm gonna add all three of them in, crack them, and then I'll scramble everything up after I add the eggs in. I'm new to cooking with okra. I'm learning how to do it. I've never had okra before, and then all of a sudden it was one of the only things that grew in the herb wall garden. So apparently it loves heat, loves this 90-degree weather, so it's a good summer crop for Florida. And the most important thing you can add to an omelet is cheese. I'm going with cheddar today. Quarter cup of cheddar cheese into this guy. Let that cook down. There's a whole bunch of cool channels and tips and guides on how to cook an omelet on a cast iron skillet. I think the main thing you gotta worry about is don't particularly worry. Like, it's just an egg omelet. So all I'm doing here is just making sure it's not sticking. A lot of people flip it, and I'll flip one later, but I just fold it first to kind of let it set this up. And the reason why I'm folding this over the top is to let that cheese melt a little bit more as well. But if you're making an omelet and you don't really know how to do it yet, just fold it and be gentle and just let it set back up. I mean, all you're doing is just cooking the eggs. It's the easiest thing in the world. Look, like I say about everything else, if I can do it, you can do it. So we're gonna let that cook down a little bit. I'm gonna grab my plate, get all this set up, and we're gonna flip it here in a minute. I'm gonna just turn it one more time, pull it back a little bit. Refold all this. Just trying to get this cheese melted in here. It's looking good. This isn't super hot. It's just regular old heat, regular medium heat. And this is starting to set up nicely. So we're gonna pull this in a minute. I'm gonna flip it coming up, and then we will have our delicious omelet. Not much to this video, but here comes our flip. Egg flip! Give you a nice close-up shot here. Not bad, not bad. So you can see it's a little burnt on in the middle, but that'll still taste good. And the rest of this is just kind of cooking into the oil. This is done. So when you pull it off of the skillet, you can, some people flip it, but that's not how you do it. Tilt it, slide your fork under, and pull the pan out. Tilt it, fork under, pan away. There you go. And that is one delicious omelet. Delicious, cheesy, pepper. I'm gonna enjoy this, and then we're gonna have a big full day of cooking awesome stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. Eat well, stay safe at home.